Hello and welcome to our Patch Sports Update. I have with me Mr. Andy Kinder. Andy, welcome.
Thank you, Dave. Glad to be here.
First time we've had you on a show, and it's long overdue. You've been working pretty hard, starting back in the winter and coming forward with one of our new programs. Why don't you introduce our newest travel program?
Um, One of the newest travel programs we introduced to Patch this year was our Roane Rattlers Baseball. We wanted to get the opportunity to give kids a little bit more exposure to baseball for those who want to play a little bit more, uh, just gain a little bit more knowledge and see what else is out there other than just what we have in Roane County.
Yep. And we talked a lot about the opportunities this affords parents as well as their children to learn better baseball, learn more about baseball. Talk a little bit about how you started this off by bringing in the Herb Academy.
Sure. We started off had Herb Academy come in with a baseball clinic, which was very beneficial to the kids that attended. I know for myself, I learned a lot.
Right.
You know, used to we grew up being taught things, structured things through our whole life. You know, from our dads, from other coaches, and things go on. But as time progressed with anything, things change.
Yes.
The game of baseball is still the same, but techniques and things like that change, and you kind of realize how far behind you are.
Yep. And after talking to a couple parents, because the Herb Academy came in, you had them do a free parent clinic or
Yes.
coaches clinic.
Correct.
And you had several parents and coaches attend that. And then they had the child's or the athletes clinic, so to speak,
Correct.
which the
Correct.
parents and coaches then got to take what happened in the coaches clinic and see it applied.
Exactly.
Exactly. The parents that I talked to after the fact were very adamant about how, as you say, that structured learning took place.
Yes.
For them as well as their athlete. Because,
Absolutely.
like you said, you learn stuff. It may not be right. You might have learned
Absolutely.
it from your parent or your coach from way back when you're in Little League, and you're just reiterating that. But sports have definitely changed.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as how we learn stuff. So
it was a very good clinic, like I said. And, just one of my highlights of that day was that my son, as soon as the camp was over with, the very first thing he'd come to me and say, "Well, Daddy, you're wrong."
Yeah.
"Daddy, you're wrong." I was like, "What are you talking about, son? You've been telling me the wrong way."
Yeah.
And yes, because the way things change, it has been. It's like, son, you're right. I have been telling you the wrong way.
And you have to adapt and change.
That's right. Yeah.
So.
And but it was good. It's very instructional, very good for the kids. I think for the parents and the coaches there, it was an eye opener.
Yep.
As far as things that we need to do, as far as to make an adaptation and move forward and make kids better at what they're doing.
And I think from an administrative standpoint, the biggest part was you brought the camp here.
Correct.
You know, a lot of times we feel like it's Roane County and no one will come here. We've turned that corner.
Yeah.
We have camps here. You're getting ready to have another camp, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's talk about the travel baseball program. You worked pretty hard through the winter to get this set up. You developed the schedule. You developed the ages. Give us the general format of your travel baseball program.
The general format of it is we come in with the idea. What we want to do was the main thing is just to give kids in this county the opportunity to be able to do a little more.
Right.
You know, we have a lot of things going on in this county. We have a lot of programs in this county.
Yep.
And we have a solid rec league that is developed in Roane County. And what we wanted to do was allow opportunity to get outside the county.
Yep.
And what kind of got me thinking on this is a lot of other sports that we do, we travel outside the county.
Yeah.
We play other counties. You play other kids.
Yep.
And you see a lot of benefit to that exposure.
Yes.
And one thing with baseball, we've always just been for years and years and years only Roane County.
Yeah.
Roane County. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's good. But it does limit your kids. It limits your kids' abilities. It limits the kids' exposures. So what we wanted to do was open up an opportunity for parents and for kids who wanted to get outside the county and say, hey, let's see what they're doing, what's going on there.
Opportunity to learn.
We can see it. Exactly. So
across the board.
That was the basis of doing this, trying to get to where we can get these kids a little more exposure to the game and say, hey, it's something I like. I want to maybe take it to the next level. Or they may not want to. Every kid's different.
Yep.
But we wanted to be able to have that opportunity available.
Gotcha. And you did a U8 team, a U10, and a U12.
Yes.
Combined sometimes
Correct.
split, and a
Correct.
U14 team.
Correct. Yes.
Talk a little bit about your coaches that you put in place.
We had several coaches. We had Terry Kendall, which a lot of people was very familiar with Terry. Terry's been around this community for a long time. Terry is, I hold him up to a lot of high standards. He's a good man. He's a good coach. He knows a lot of what he's talking about.
And he's got a lot of experience.
He's got a lot of experience.
Mr. Kendall's been coaching for
Yes.
a long time, and he brings a lot of professionalism.
Exactly, he does. He does. We had him coaching our 14U team, and we also had Orland Huffman and Nathaniel Bone helping out on those teams. For our younger teams, we had Greg Howard, and Jimmy Grayhouse, Todd Jarvis, myself, and Matt Cooper. They were all helping me out as far as doing the 12U, 10U, and 8Us, and keeping those little guys rolling and going. So.
And I think that's an important part of what Patch does. We put good people in good places.
Yes.
And you got yourself a great group of parents
Yes.
and coaches there, and they understood the philosophy, and I think that made for a wonderful season. Let's talk a little bit about the pros of what you saw from the kids' perspective for playing travel ball.
The big perspective that I've seen that they like it is the atmosphere. Probably the most exciting thing that we did this year for the kids, they really liked us when we got to go to Glenville State College.
Right.
Got to play on that nice college field. It was up there and seeing how nice it was. And, that's stuff the kids like to see.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of knew they'd like it because we do football. The kids go up there and they play on the college field, football on a nice turf field. They feel like they're at, they're at the pros.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a wonderful experience.
The atmosphere of seeing that, seeing different ball fields, going different places, playing new teams, making new friends. I did socialism out.
Sure.
They're out there, seeing other people. I mean,
that's a big social aspect to say.
When they're here in this county, they go to school with kids every day. They know them. They play with them. That's great. But we're getting them outside the bubble. And it all goes back to the big thing is exposure. Getting kids more exposures. Like I said, we're not the best team in the world. We never probably will be the best team in the world. But these kids and parents can see their kids' development. They can see as far as what the kids need to learn. They can see what other people are doing, what we're not doing. So it's a learning curve. We can take a lot from it. We can learn so much from it by getting out.
And I think that's a big part, and we talked about this earlier, an 8U team, which is under 8, by the time they get to high school, they're going to be very well prepared.
Yes.
And that's the scary part. In any athletic organization, if you have a gap of learning, it hurts you.
Yes.
And having the ability to go from starting at under 8 and being exposed to the different techniques, the different instruction, the different teams, the different players, by the time they get to middle school, they'll be in really good shape. By the time they get to high school, they'll be phenomenal. And that's this is a long-term process. We're not going to turn around next year and benefit the high school team necessarily. We will benefit them some with our 14U players that are going up. They got great exposure. But in the long term, this will be a phenomenal. So that's building.
Exactly. For a first-year program, I was very pleased with what we had. Of course, with any program, you have ups and downs, and you have expectations that you like to meet or exceed, and we had some that we didn't.
Right.
But anytime you start something new, it's hard because the main thing is change. People don't like change. A lot of people like to be comfortable, and comfortable is fine. But sometimes we got to step outside that box.
Right.
If we want to develop and get better. So
adapt or get.
That's right.
Adapt and get better. That's the goal. So. I know you did we talked a lot about evaluation of skill sets and looking at players specifically and working with the Herb Academy. That was part of the session as well. I think that helped out tremendously talking to the parents. That's
absolutely.
what they all walked away
One of the things that we did, we really wanted to do was we did an evaluation skill set on every kid. So we went through and we evaluated a kid when they came in, what they could do and what they couldn't do, and then we reevaluated them when we done the season. And that's really what we based our success on.
Right.
Not necessarily how many games we won, not necessarily how many games we lost, but we want to set it on the players, the kids' skill set. From the time they came in, did we as coaches do our job? Did they get better? For example, could little Johnny throw it from third to second or from second to first when he come in? No, he couldn't. By the end of the season, could he do that? Did he know what a double play was? Did he know what it mean if he had a 3-1 count? Things like that. We wanted to teach him the game of baseball. Because baseball is 90% mentally, 10% physically. It's a lot going on. So we wanted to challenge those kids, and we wanted to make sure that when we brought them in, that we did teach them something. They learned from it.
So you had a nice roadmap of where you were going, and I think that's important. We talked a lot about that in the wintertime, developing that roadmap and making sure the skill sets would be met as you went, so the progression was tiered. So now your U8 players going up to U10 next year will already have that solid foundation.
Yeah.
Your U10, U12 players, same thing, solid foundation. And when they roll up to U14, they should be ready to be a U14 player in the high school. So wonderful stuff. What things do you think you'll improve going into next year?
Main thing is going to next year. We're hoping to have a little bit better flow. I feel we was organized, but you can always get better organized because you always have things that come into play.
First year growing pains. Yep.
Do some praying for some better weather.
Yeah.
We did have a very rainy season, so we had a lot of game cancellations, so forth. And but the big thing is just continue to the improvement,
right?
And seeing kids come in and that they don't. We always want to progress.
Yeah. Now talking about games, I see here you have how many games each team played. Why don't you go over that a little bit?
Our 14U, we had a total of 22 games, which that was a lot of games for those guys, considering even the weather we had.
Yep.
So they got a lot of playing in, and basically our 14U team, it is a middle school team.
Yep.
It's of course not associated with school, but it's still middle school and
age. Yeah.
It's middle school age, and all the teams they played was pretty much kids that from all middle schools as well. But they ended up having a pretty good season. They ended up being 9-13.
Yep.
On the season, which was had some wins, had some losses, but
considering that group at that level hadn't
correct.
Played together before, starting with a clean slate.
Exactly. Not bad.
Third of the team, as I understand, talking to Coach Kendall, had very little baseball experience.
We had
so really to walk away with a 9-13 record, close to 50-50 or 500 season, is not bad at all.
It's not, and they came a long way. And I think the surprising factor for all these kids, the first round of their playoff game, they lost to Marietta.
Yeah.
They lost 9-6.
Yep.
By 3. Marietta won the championship.
Yeah.
So
they were playing with a good team, and
exactly.
We're in the ball game.
Exactly.
That's wonderful.
So from the first game to the last game, there wasn't much improvement.
Yep.
That's one thing we've seen, and Terry had a rough road cut out for him, but he did good. He did a good job teaching them.
Well, as always, he's a professional.
Exactly.
He brings that to the table. So that makes nice. Your U12 team?
They did pretty good. They only finished up with 8 games. Like I said, the main thing with this is go play on weekends.
Yep.
And because we really didn't want to hinder or hurt anything from our local rec leagues.
Yep.
We had kids playing Little League. We had kids also playing travel on weekends. So we was able to get in 8 games. They ended up 2-5. I'm sorry, 2-7. They ended up 2-7 on the season. They won their last game. We went up to Vienna this last Sunday, and they won their last game 19-5. So they had a good win. So they had come a long ways. They had a lot of progress and have gotten a lot better. And our 8U guys, they finished up this weekend too. They played a total of 13 games. They finished up with a record of 8-5 in the season, which is really good. Played really well, and we finished out this weekend. It was a little bit hot.
Yes.
So
you're out there on a 96-degree day. You get into the 5th inning. What do you do, Coach Kinder?
We improvised. we put a pull in at first base, Dave.
Yeah.
We had the kids running and diving into first base to be safe, to cool them off, and just having fun. And at that age, that's what it's about.
Yes.
You want kids to be able to make memories. You want to be able to enjoy it. And
some of those cats came into our summer program yesterday, and that's what big talk was. Yeah. First base was a pool, and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And they couldn't talk enough about it. They just were so excited. And that's the beauty of this program. Again, you're adapting. It's a 96-degree day. Your players are hot.
Yeah.
Put a pool out there at first base, and I think you were telling me the rule was you had to dive in the pool no matter what.
Yeah.
And the kids just phenomenal. So wonderful adaptation. That's the other team loved it just as much as our guys. So it was a great way to end the season. And good adaptation. So, and I know we talk mostly about the 8U guys because they're fun.
Yeah.
The little guys are always fun. What do you think going forward? What's your expectations going forward?
Expectations going forward is to be able to field more teams. We'd like to have, like I said, we had a 12 and under, 10 and under, and 8U under team. Really, our 12 and our 10U under team was kind of a combination.
Yeah, splitting.
We'd move some up, move some down, go play games. We'd really like to be able to have a what I call a true 10 and under, true 12 and under team. One of the big things that we see, that a lot of people all over the state, this is what they're going to.
Yeah.
and it's kind of based off of what pony league regulations are.
Right.
And the goal is to get kids playing more quality ball. When we say more quality ball, not necessarily what's going on, but it's getting the kid to play more quality ball.
Right.
And by them not being intimidated by playing kids that are 4 and
Right.
5 years older than them.
And we
playing age-based.
We see this in other sports.
Yes.
And
yes.
actually, we see this in just about every other sport. Baseball is the only one that really doesn't fall inside these categories.
Right.
We just went to a track meet, and it's age-based, and it's by years, by 2 years.
Yes.
There isn't any division that's more than 2 years. Soccer's the same way. Wrestling's the same way. Football falls in the same. So I think we'll see a transition for baseball as well. As you said, the Pony League's having a lot of success right now because you don't want your 7-year-old playing against a 12-year-old.
Exactly.
Exactly. It just causes some issues.
It does. It does.
Age appropriateness is a big thing, and I think that's a big bonus here. So you saw a lot of success with that. Yeah. Talk about your upcoming camp. You have a camp coming up. Give us the
camp's coming up next week, June 20th.
Okay.
It's going to be from 10 o'clock to 1:30.
Yep.
And it's open to all kids in Roane County, kids that are outside of Roane County if they want to come.
Yep.
But Herb Academy is coming back, and they're going to be working on a day clinic here.
Okay.
We'll be here for 3 hours.
Yep.
We're going to be working on some hitting.
Yep.
They're working on some pitching and some fielding and throwing while the kids are here. So
they're going to cover a large gamut of bases. This will be a refresher course for some.
Yes.
An introduction course for others, and then an advanced course for the ones that are ready for it.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, so something for everybody.
Absolutely.
June 20th.
June 20th.
Okay, so what does someone need to do to sign up?
If someone needs to sign up, they can just contact us here at the patch office.
Okay.
They can call 304-927-8047 and get hold of myself, or also they can email me at akinder@patch21.org.
Okay.
And get them signed
Forms
up.
are on our Facebook page. You have your own Roane Rattlers Travel Baseball Facebook page.
Correct.
You can go there and get information as well. And look at the photos. Your wife Jennifer got a wonderful photo of one of them, just spread eagle, hitting the pool wide open. It was wonderful to see that. So, all right, bring good stuff to the table, Mr. Kinder. You're helping out our community and providing a lot of opportunities for our kids, and that's the important part. You had in the next spring will come a lot easier for you. You've already got the schedule mapped out.
That's right.
You've got all the stuff in place, so year 2 will be smooth like butter.
Yes.
I say that now, and then we'll probably hit a couple of thunderstorms, and you'll be like,
well,
"Come out! You said smooth like butter."
You always do. That's part of it.
But so we look forward to a good second year with repeating the solid parts and creating more opportunities. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. If you need more information, call the patch office or look at our Facebook pages. And then, as always, this show is produced by A&M Digital Technologies here in Spencer, West Virginia. So, thanks, Mr. Kinder, and we'll be back with some more information as the summer goes on.